So make sure you're lying on your roller, lengthens on the roller with the arms out to the side for a lovely stretch across the chest here. And I'm going to walk around feeling very strange with the microphone stuck to my chest. But anyway, right. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So welcome everybody, welcome to Monday night stretch class. As always, you can stop whenever you like, you can rest, you can modify, you can adjust. There's no competition, there's no pressure, and there are no prizes for how bendy you are or how strong you are. I'll be making lots of interesting suggestions and some random comments and hopefully some stuff that's helpful. And your job is simply to stretch and encourage your body to let go of all that tension it's been holding on to for the past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years in my case. Who knows? Nice. So just adjust the angle of your arms, you get the best stretch across your chest, the muscles of your chest and the front of your shoulders. Now feel free to move your arms up nearer your head or down towards your hips if you need, so you get the better stretch going on. And just stop and breathe and do this strange thing that we forget to do in our modern world, and that's actually stop. A strange idea. It's kind of a forgotten art, really. We have this tendency to feel guilty if we stop, because we should be doing something. And modern society is very much a doing society, and we're all about the doing, the doing, the doing. So just for this first position, just stop. If your fingers get pins and needly or weird, just straighten the arms out, that usually takes that away, or bring your hands nearer to your hips, that usually takes that away as well. And see if you can lengthen out your breath without forcing it, but just allow it to relax. Then from here, bring your hands onto your abdomen. I'm going to roll to your right-hand side as you come off the roller. Move the roller out of the way. And then we're going to come up onto the hands and knees. So your hands are on your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And then I'll face you. We're going to walk the hands over towards your right-hand side. So leave the hips above the knees, walk the hands over. The important thing is that the left hand comes forward and across until you feel a bit of a stretch in that left low back, rib cage kind of world. If you ground your hand here and then try and push your bum back a little bit, we should feel a lovely stretch to the side of the body. And then we continue that lovely, deep, slow breath. Notice when you breathe in, that bigger breath moves your rib cage, which increases the stretch. Then we're going to walk the hands back to the center and we'll swap sides. So take as much time as you like, and we're swapping the sides. I was watching a Sean Connery movie the other day. I'm going to speak out the side of my mouth, I think. Very much money, Penny. And all that. Anyway, so from here, watch across, forward and across, forward and across. Find the stretch on this side. You want to find the stretch with the hips above the knees and then ground the hand and think of sinking the hips back a little. Again, we're breathing and we're waiting for the muscles to let go. Resist that urge to force it. You can wriggle around a little bit in the position until you find a better stretch. And then be patient. Then we're going to come back to the center. Ooh. Sit back on the heels for a moment. Ooh. Then we're going to walk the hands forward again. So once again, the hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. I recommend turning the fingers out here or doing this on your fist. We're going to take a drop down cobra just to stretch out the stomach. So from here, drop the hips forward with the elbows beautifully straight. Just let the body hang. Ooh. Ooh. Way too close. I should put gear at the back of the classes right there. Ooh. Notice how my shoulders are around my ears here. So we're going to pull the shoulders down away from the ears. And then we can drop down again. Ooh. Weird. Put it down. And let yourself drop. Notice the difference. And then we're going to try and stay here with the shoulder blades pulled down. Now imagine you're a seal flying across the beach chasing whatever seals chase. Not in the water, because they're really good in the water. On the land, they're like that. And they struggle, right? You want to pull your chest forward and up, dragging your chest away from your knees so you stretch your stomach rather than just completely collapse in the low back. Take a big breath in. The big breath will expand the diaphragm, expand the stomach, increase the stretch. And then we're going to gently, slowly go back. We've been there for a while, so slowly come back. We'll take a child's pose here, so knees nice and wide. Reach the arms forward, rest the head. Then we're going to come back up. And then almost as though we were doing a classical yoga class, which we won't because it scares people, we're going to take a down dog from here. So hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, and then you straighten the legs and push your bum up and back. To make this upside down V kind of shape. The world famous down dog. Now it's important here you've got no socks on, otherwise your feet will slip. Unless you don't mind your feet slipping, which I don't recommend. We're going to walk the dog, which means you straighten one leg and push the heel down. You bend the other knee, and then you swap sides like you're walking on the spot. What we're doing here is mobilizing the ankle and the toes and giving a little extra stretch to one calf at a time. Now, there is a bit of shoulder work here to hold yourself in this position. It's true. But we'll just see how long we stay here before our shoulders completely freak out. And then we're going to press both heels back. What I'm going to get you to do is bend your knees a little bit, stick your bum in the air, and then sink those heels down a bit. And then think of pressing your chest back towards your toes. Let your head relax, your neck's relaxed. And then sink the heels towards the mat, spreading your toes at the same time. So feel the stretch kind of sink into your calves here. Then put your knees down. Sit back on your heels and take a little rest. Ooh. So yoga people have shoulders like this. Well, they don't, but they could, because a lot of shoulder work. Now, from here, tuck your toes under and sit back on your heels in the world-famous broken toe pose. Make sure all the toes stay tucked under so we don't lose any. If this pose is terribly comfortable, you need to take your knees forward a little bit more until it's not comfortable, because you need to know it's there. And you go, ooh. Ooh. Then we're going to lean forward. Point the toes, sit back on the heels with the toesies pointed. You can tap your feet if you like. A lot of people do. I don't know why. It's not necessary. It's kind of fun. From here, we're going to come to down dog again. So I'm just going to swap sides. So take the legs back, walk yourself back. Okay. Now just see if that's a little bit easier, because we stretch the sole of the foot a little bit in the toe joint. Spread the toes out wide. Bend the knees a little. Press your chest towards your toes. So you're extending through the back as well. Let your head hang so your neck is nice and loose. Think then of sinking the heels down and think of possibly straightening the knees. Don't slam them straight, but just think of straightening them. So we get a cheeky hamstring stretch here and a calf stretch. Now bend the right knee and put all your focus into your left heel. Again, not forcing it down, but just focusing on that side and going, ooh, what can I feel there? Try rolling your foot a bit towards your big toe, then a bit back towards your pinky toe. A little bit side to side and go, ooh. And then swap sides. So the right heel sinking down. You're focusing on that right heel and that right calf. And you're like, ooh. Roll to the pinky toe side of the foot. Roll to the big toe side of the foot. Then both heels down. Then place the knees down. Sit back on the heels. Should have felt a little easier. A little bit of a hamstring stretch as well. Notice a bit of a back stretch as well, and a bit of a shoulder stretch and a release of the neck. All these things are such fun. Now from here, we're going to lean forward a little bit. Cross your right foot, it's this one, over the arch of your left foot. Separate the knees out a little bit and see if you can sit back onto your heels. So we stretch the front of your shin and your ankle a little bit. Like so. Now, if you go to Japan like I did, you spend half an hour like this. Listen to your teacher. If you move, he will give you a whooping, because that's his job. Guillaume went for a run the other day, and he said, "Can we do legs today?" I said, "Sure." I'm not sure he's so keen now. Now, from here, lean forward and swap sides. Put the right foot on the arch, left foot on the arch of the right foot. And sit back. Now what you notice here is that one ankle usually moves better than the other. And you may notice that the arch of one foot is tighter than the other. So the top foot is actually acting like a bit of a massage, okay? So that's the arch of this foot. This other one, if you adjust a little bit, you'll find that the bone, I get this right, sorry, the bone of your underfoot is pressing on the arch of the top foot. Is that right? Yes, that's what I meant. No, the top foot's pressing on the bottom. Anyway, one arch, something's pushing on something. You wriggle around a bit, you'll find the bone pushes, and you go, oh, there's a whole little muscle underneath the sole of your foot, which like to get tight and get lost and get missed out and get unloved. And then we'll come forward again. Now we'll tuck the toes under again. And we'll sit back in our broken toe. And we should find that the feet feel a little bit more mobile. If you're feeling keen, you can rock a little side to side. Options are just to stay here for a while, or keep your knees reasonably close together. Use your fingertips to help you just push back a little bit, and we're going to sit back in a kind of knees together, feet together, kind of squat kind of position. Sinking the heels down as best we can so we stretch the lower part of the calf and a bit more ankle mobility. or we just stay as we are, or just sit down and have a cup of tea. That's okay. The plan is to eventually be able to sit here with our heels down and just hang out. And then we'll come forward. Point the toes once again. Sit back on the heels. Nice. Now hands forward, last down dog. I promise. From here, step it back to the down dog. And see how that feels. And you should feel like you got a whole new set of feet. Walk the dog a little bit. You should find the calf is easier, the heel sinks down. And with ankles and feet like butter. Ooh. None of your canola oil here, it's all lovely butter feet. And from here, place the knees down and then sit to one side, please. Bring both legs forward. Give the legs a wee wobble. From here, we're going to bend up this left leg and pull the heel in next to your bum. Lean over a little bit, move the calf muscle out of the way, and then sit back. So if we do it from the side, we're going to be here. Foot may be straight. Some ankles don't like that, okay? Some ankles anatomically do this. I meet a lot of people who go, I get told my feet don't do this right thing. It's just because that's the way you're made, okay? But so see where you go. I like to be here. You can be here if you like. Put the foot there, and then we're going to lean back to stretch out the cheeky quad. This chap here. If you feel it with your arms straight, that's okay. If that's not strong enough, come down onto your elbows. So that's not enough, lie totally flat. If that's not enough, bend the other knee up. If that's not enough, hug this knee in towards your chest. And we're going to hang out. If the whole thing is fiercely uncomfortable, just lie on your side, rest your head in your hand, bend the leg, and pull your heel in, okay? We have to progress in how we do things according to our stuff. And sometimes you'll get cramp. The important thing is your knee's not taking any pressure. Your quad is taking all the stretch. And you're in a position you can hold for a while and allow the quad to relax. And then to come out of this position, you're going to roll away from the bent leg. Okay, so roll away to your right-hand side. Let the leg pop out and then sit up. So there's no chance of you stressing out to your knee. And then swap sides. If you're doing the lying down, head and hand thing, just swap sides. Everybody else, fold the right leg up. Take a bit of time to adjust it. If you can pull the calf muscle out of the way, it allows the bones to get close together. It's a slightly stronger stretch. You should find the ankle is a little easier because we did so much ankle work before we did this today. But again, pick your position. Start carefully, make sure your knee is happy, and then sink into it. Remember, of course, if you've got massive legs because you've got huge hamstrings and massive quads, it might be more tricky. to come out of this side, straighten out your left leg, roll to the left. And we come back up. Ooh. So sitting up, both legs in front. Separate your feet so they're a bit wider than your mat. Knees bent, and we'll windscreen wipe the legs from side to side. The first few, don't worry about the knees touching the floor, they may not get there. We just want to lubricate the hips, loosen up the hips. Don't bang the tripod if you need the tripod either. And then we'll come back to the center here. Bring the soles of the feet together and bring your feet in a little. Just wherever's comfy. Bearing in mind always you want to make sure your knee is happy. Don't trash your knees just to get into some funky position. Hold the ankles rather than the feet. And just apply a gentle little pressure with the elbows on the inside of your thighs. Bodies are fascinating things because you can be tight in one bit and incredibly loose in another bit, and you can't understand why. A friend of mine, when I was in London, we called him Black Beauty. We did, because he always wore black leggings at the gym, and he had enormous quads. He was a Taekwondo champion. He had huge legs, and he could do the full splits, just drop into box splits. He kicked me in the head once, standing right next to me. Just full, like, very impressive. Anyway. But he can't touch his toes. Weird. So his hips are already mobile, but his hamstrings aren't. So sometimes, some things are easy and some things aren't. And the plan is to try and even everything up as best we can. From here, we're going to put the hands under the knees and bring the knees back up. Pop the legs out in front. And then we're going to separate the legs out nice and wide. Now what I'm going to get you to do here is get your roller and actually get your block. I was playing with this the other day, and I think I may have found a way to make this work. Because a lot of us are kind of tight here. So, roller in front of you, legs out wide. Readjust, you're sitting on the bones of your bum, trying to tilt your bum back a little bit. Roller in front here, put the block on the roller on its highest edge like that. Roller, roller. There you go. Then you're going to bend forward and see if the head will go on the roller. But if it won't, you put one fist on top of the roller, on the block, sorry, and the other fist on top of that, and then it's like a really high thing, see? And if you can do that and then rest your head in it, as long as you're getting the stretch in the inner thigh, we have a supported forward bend. If that feels easy, you just slowly take one fist away, the other fist away, the block goes on the next edge, then the next edge, then no edge, straight to the roller, and then no roller, and then the floor. So we'll say the next 20 minutes and we'll do that, okay? The important thing here is you're comfy. So you want to rest your forehead on whatever it is, the fists or the block. Try and make sure your feet point straight up toward the ceiling. Don't let them roll out to the side. We want to feel this on the inner thigh. Inner thigh as part of the lost world. Okay? Lost world is the muscles that no one cares about. Like the land that time forgot. It's the bit that everyone forgets is there. Everyone trains and thinks about their bum. There's lots of bum work and maybe some bum stretching. Everyone forgets about the poor inner thigh. The inner thigh does a lot of important things, and if it's tight and unhappy, and often it's tight because it's weak, then it kind of pulls funny, which means the outer hip has to pull harder as well, and the whole thing goes a bit ding-dong. we're going to gently come back up, Tim. Slowly, slowly come back up. And then we're going to lean over to your right-hand side. So lean over, put your elbow on your knee, head on the hand. So we stretch the side of the waist here, which we did a little bit right at the beginning of the class. And take this left arm up and over. So it's almost exactly the same position we had on our hands and knees, if you remember, but it's different. Now the temptation here is to round yourself, okay? But you want to bend sideways. Yes, it's a side bend. So remember, the secret is not to get the hands to the foot necessarily. The plan is to feel the stretch where you want to feel the stretch. If you roll forward, you can get the stretch more easily. You can get further forward, but you don't get the same stretch. If you're real flexible, you can hook your big toe with your right thumb. And you can hold the outside of the foot with the left hand. It's just still side bending and twist yourself underneath. You're trying to look underneath your left armpit towards the ceiling. So it's the side bend. And then to come out of this, place the left hand on the floor and push yourself back up. Come up nice and slow. And then we go the other way. So just slowly go the other way. So notice the temptation is to do this, to get here and then turn because you think, oh, I can get to my foot. But then you lose the stretch, okay? That said, you do want to play around in the position a little bit of rib cage rotation, forward and back until you find the stretch that you want. Then place the right hand on the floor and push yourself back up. And now we are going to swap sides once again, but this time we're going to turn so the chest is kind of pointing over the leg and then bend forwards, reaching towards the foot with both hands this time. So we get more of a cheeky hamstring kind of stretch. So we'll go the right first. Doesn't matter, we'll go both ways. If your roll is in the way, just chuck it at somebody else, that's okay. And if you can't reach your foot, just grab the strap, pop the strap over your foot. Make sure your foot is straight. If you turn your foot out, it makes it too easy. I'm looking at you, G. Put your foot straight. Straight, straight, yeah, straight up, 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 up. Yeah. That's the one there. Beautiful. Did you not get a strap, Cuzzy? Oh no. Come back up slowly and we'll swap sides. So what we get here is a hamstring stretch, but also there's a wee little rotation you need to make in your hips. And sometimes the hips are a little bit like, ugh. So always start easy. If you want, put the strap around the foot and you can pull the toes a bit more. It's just an option. Yeah, use the straps. Nice. It's more comfy. Straps are nice. Straps are like cushions, you know. They're just kind of comfy. You want to make everything as comfy as you can so it feels nice and you go, oh, that's good. I'll do that again tomorrow or sometime later in the week. And consistency beats perfection. It's just time. come back up. Nice and slow. Then we're going to bend forward again. We should find, having done all that lovely loosening, then we can just go wee, ka-chunk. It should be so much easier, maybe. Or at least a bit easier. Hopefully. Again, use the block again if you need. You kind of want to feel a slight stretch but supported. Okay, so you still feel the inner thigh, but you're supported a little bit. Not so high you don't feel anything at all, and not so low that you're constantly under tension, kind of stressing out. That said, if you really want to get this kind of, this is called a pancake, by the way, if you really want to get the full pancake thing and get really good at this, you actually need strength in the deep position. Okay? The secret to supreme flexibility, or bonkers flexibility, is actually strength as well as stretch. Now here we're just doing general stretching because we're tight and we want to loosen up the world and our world and the pressure on us, etc. But if you really want to go for that gymnastic-y kind of circus level stuff, you have to actually do strength work here. I saw a Russian gymnast lady doing this, and she's like this with a barbell across her back with a ton of weight and just going up and down like that. It's called a City Good Morning like that. It was quite a lot of weight too. I was like, ooh. So anyway, options. We're not going to do it in this class though. The insurance won't cover it. Then we're going to come back up again, team. Ooh. Pop your hand under your knees, bend the knees first, take this tension out of this, and then shuffle the legs in. Okay, shuffle them in. Give them a little bit of a floppy, wobbly, wobbly kind of thing. Oh, nice. From here, we're going to come up onto our hands and knees once again. And then we'll take a lovely lunge forward with the right leg. So we're here. From here, we're going to lean forward. We're going to put the left hand down. Again, I recommend using the fist, but you can use a palm. It's usually less pressure on your wrist if your fingers are out, but you work out whatever works comfy for you. But then turn your right foot 90 degrees so it points right out to the side here. Reach that left hand further forward than you might think. Keep the arms straight and drop your hips towards the floor. Turn yourself so you're facing the side of the room here. And your kneecap, your left kneecap is not resting on the mat, so it's the edge of the knee. So the side of your hip is dropping towards the floor. If that's too much on your left arm, just put both hands down, that's okay. What we want to try and feel is this side hip, slightly towards the front of the hip, but mostly side hip kind of world. And maybe the side of your waist, yes. True. So all this kind of fascia connective tissue here, and also this lost muscle, the TFL. This acts as a hip flexor, which we're coming to the main hip flexor in a minute. This is the appetizer of the hip flexor. The foie gras before we get into something else. Something bigger, I don't know. What the main course is called in French, I can't remember. No. Foie gras, by the way, is this really strong pate. Have you ever had it? It's like, whoa. It's a pate, isn't it? What is it then? It's from goose. Don't you do mean things to geese, don't you? Force feed the poor chaps, as I recall. Come back up slowly. The whole class descends to discussion about foie gras. Come back up slowly, team. And we'll swap sides. It's a pate. I'm sure it's a kind of pate thing. Okay, we'll find out for next class what it is. So from here, lunge on the other side. I'm sorry, Internet. That's what happens. Class goes off the channel. So reach forward. Right hand comes forward. Turn the left foot at 90 degrees. Reach further forward than you might think. And you've got to turn. You want to turn to on the side of the leg. Make sure the kneecap takes no pressure. The right kneecap takes no pressure at all. And let yourself hang here. It's a side hip, side waist kind of weird world. Yeah? And when you get it, you're like, ooh, I never stressed this before. That's interesting. It's kind of cool. So what is foie gras then? Okay, what is it? Liver. Yeah. But don't they make it into a pate? No. Just the liver? Very safe. Just by itself? Yeah. Ew. Ew. Yeah, ew. That's disgusting. That's mean. No. And the poor geese, force-fed. I mean,
Oh, yeah, poor geese.
ugh. Oh well. Okay, so we'll think of some other starter then. Okay, the calamari maybe. So remember, it's the sideways thing. The fist takes less pressure on your wrist if you've got wrist issues, I usually find. Or you can use the block if it's more comfy too. And use both hands. Then we're going to come back. So carefully come back. Ooh. Sit back on the heels, take a little minute. Check your hands still work. Lovely. So, that was our appetizer, which we decided we would try something less icky than liver. And then from here, we can take a big step forward. Once again, on the right leg, big step forward. This time we're going to stay upright, and we're just going to lunge forward. So my favorite word is lunge. It seems kind of cool. Just lunge. Now, options on the lunge. There's a school of thought that your shin should never go past vertical, and your knee should always be above your ankle. This is a modern way of thinking. And everyone says, very good, very important for your knees. And the old school way of thinking is, no, that's just silly. You let your knee go right forward, so you also stretch the ankle again. So whichever feels comfy for you. You can have your forearm up on the knee here, hands on the knee, or you can have your hands on the floor if that's more comfy. What we want to do here is a lunge. So we're stretching a hip flexor, not the most effective stretch, but it's kind of a nice one because we get a bit of knee movement too. Then we're going to come back up, keeping the feet and knees where they are, and either repeat the same position again, or if you're feeling super keen, you're going to bend up the back leg, take hold of the foot, pull the heel in reasonably close to your bottom, and then lunge forward again. So we get a quad and a hip flexor stretch all together. Which is kind of cool. It might cramp in the hammies, by the way. You might fall over. No drinking before class. So. During's fine. What do you like? What's in your water bottle is between you and your water bottle. It's okay. Then we'll come back up. Ooh. Sit back in the heels for just a moment and just check. Everything feels okay. And then we swap sides. We're almost finished. Almost, but not quite. So swap sides. The left leg comes forward. To start with, lunge. Now, if you know your hip flexors are tight, right? Just have a slightly wider step and just lunge a little bit. And you're going to feel that straight off. And you're like, it's enough. Okay? If you're watching TV, do it this way. It's easier to see. I was listening to a podcast just now in the gym, actually, from one of my acupuncture teachers. Ooh, someone's making noise. And he was talking about the dysfunction in the body, and a lot of it comes from the hips, right? The hips not working properly. And one of the most famous things the hips do is they get tight in the hip flexors, this stuff on the front, okay? So what you'll find, if you kind of steadily wait for it, it should start to loosen up. But you're not going to force it. It's a big muscle, and it's very grumpy. And it gets all snappy. So you've got to give it a little bit of time. The classic hip dysfunction, by the way, is weak glutes and tight hip flexors. And the tight hip flexors actually inhibit the glutes. That tightness irritates, and the glutes decide to stop working. So then we'll come back up. Hopefully you'll notice, like if you give things a little bit of time, you'll be surprised how much things loosen if you don't go at them too aggressively. So the options are to repeat the same one again, have a cup of tea, or bend up the back leg, smile to yourself in anticipation, and then bend forward and go, oh. Now the reason this stretch is so cool, because the first quad stretch was stretching the main body of your quads, but the middle quad, it's called rectus femoris, and that actually attaches onto the front of your hip, so it acts like a hip flexor. So by bending the leg up here and then bending forward, you add that in to the hip flexor world of stretching. Anatomy, it's fun. Then we're going to gently come back up. Ooh. Sit down and bring the legs forward. Give them a little bit of a wobble. Bend the knees once again, feet wide on the mat, and we will windscreen wiper the hips. There you go. This is dessert. There you go. This is Angel Delight. That's what this is. If anyone's old enough to remember Angel Delight or Angel Whip, it's great. Powder, mix it with milk, whip it like mad. Full of sugar, it's fabulous. Hundreds of thousands on top. Awfully inflammatory and bad for you, but hey, that's what desserts are for. Either have a dessert or just don't bother. Don't have some low-fat dessert. What's the point of that? Low flavor. And the class is finished. Look at that. 45 minutes went just like that. Could you? Alrighty, team. So, any stretches you missed out, you want to do, now's the time. If you want to collapse, now's the time. Thank you very much. So, put everything back nice and neatly, and otherwise, I will see you same time. No, next week.